Welcome to the Honest Art Podcast. I'm your host, Jody King. As an artist for 20 years, instructor, speaker, author, and fellow rebel, I've worked with thousands of people around the world, from beginners to established artists, helping them create their strongest art and build a career doing what they love. So if you are ready to have a little fun while you learn about art, creativity, building a thriving art business, and living a bold, audacious life, you are in the right place. Also, if you're considering going pro in your art business, grab the PDF in the show notes on the 5 things they don't teach you in art school. All right, let's get messy. Welcome back to the Honest Art Podcast. I am Jody King, and I've got a treat for you. I was just speaking with my guest that I just can't wait. Anyway, I was just speaking with my guest, and I was telling her that my intention around having artists on the podcast is that you, as an artist, or maybe you're just thinking about an artist or being an artist, or maybe you're just creative, or maybe you don't give a shit about anything like that, but I want you to feel inspired by by my guests, and I absolutely know you will be inspired by my guest, Meribeth Privett. Meribeth is a badass artist. Oh, I can't wait for you guys to hear this conversation. And the thing about Meribeth is she has a powerful presence that it's palpable to everyone that she comes in contact with. But it's soft. Meribeth is strong and soft all at the same time. So welcome, Meribeth Privett.
Thank you for having me, Jody. I'm really excited to be here with you.
Thank you. And for those of you who are listening to this um, on Spotify or just audio, I want to encourage you also to go to YouTube, because you're going to want to see some of the art that is behind Meribeth and just see her in general. So I'm going to introduce you like the formal introduction before we get into like our casual conversation.
Because
But
we love cash.
we
love
love
casual.
cash for
Yes.
sure. And we may go off the rails, and that's okay too.
Yeah.
But Meribeth Privett is an intuitive artist who fell in love with abstract expressionism in Houston, Texas, where she currently lives. Her art is a collaboration, bringing spirit and matter into one. And y'all, that's no joke with Meribeth. She channels her passion for transformation and personal growth into the canvas, which brings beauty and healing and inspiration into the experience of our everyday spaces. So that's kind of the fancy version. The non-fancy version is you are one powerful motherfucker.
As are you, Jody. As are you. And thank you. Thank you for that.
You're welcome. So Meribeth, tell us. I know a little bit about your journey, but as I recall, your childhood, I don't recall that you started into this path as a child, but I could be wrong. Can you just tell us a little bit, about your creativity as a child? Whether did you feel like it was there? Did you start at an early age? Was it later? Just kind of give us an overview.
Yeah, absolutely. So, I was always creative as a child, but I didn't really view it as artistic, if that makes sense. It was just me being myself. And so I took dance, from 3 until like my junior year. So I always used my body to express. And collaging was something I took to naturally. I did it a lot when I was grounded, right? Like in high school or junior high.
You know what? When you said I did it a lot when I was grounded,
Yeah.
now I'm thinking about grounding ourselves, and because you
Mm.
do so much woo shit, I was like, oh, and then I'm like, oh no, she was actually grounded.
I was a rebellious child. Yes, I had a free spirit at an early age, and so then I really just went and did life, and creativity took a back seat. And it wasn't until 2008 that I picked up paints again, and I painted something that I even have hanging in my home today. It's a figurative piece, and I really liked it. And a dear friend of mine, Sarah P. from New Orleans, going to give her a shout out. She was the first person who told me I was an artist. And she said, Maribeth, you're an artist. And I was like, thought it was silly, or I had just never had anyone reflect that back to me. And
Yeah.
now I realize that the imprint happened then, right?
Yeah.
The inner artist in me recognized that validation of someone else seeing me in that light. And you did the same thing for me, right? And Sarah is an artist. So it's like an artist recognizes another artist and in their creativity. And it wasn't until 2016, I had been in school, just wrapped up on my prereqs for nursing, was about to pull all the, stops there and dive into that. And I had this whispering that I didn't want to work in a hospital, that this isn't what I actually want to do, but I had involved so much of my time and energy in getting to this goal. And then the short of the long of it is my husband grandmother, she said, "You're not a nurse, you're an artist." And it hit me so hard. I canceled my day. I went and got in bed and was like, what the fuck now? Right? It
Okay,
hit
this
me
is
so
gonna
hard.
be so, I think so many people are gonna be, be able to relate to this. Like, we do the things we think we are supposed to do
Yes,
until we
truth.
realize that's not me. But
Right.
to change that is the hardest thing.
Indeed.
So, like, to give up who we believe we're supposed to be, to try to become who we think possibly, maybe we might kind of sort of be, that puts us in the bed. Like,
Exactly. Yes. But then it also catapulted me into the fourth dimension. I mean, because once I made the choice, that's not what I want to do. Enrolled in fundamental classes. I submerged myself in art communities. Didn't feel like I was even creating. I even did, a sat for artists just to be surrounded in the creative energy. And then I randomly came across a workshop of yours, a painting workshop, and it was so synchronistic. And I wasn't really closely following you at that time yet.
yeah.
And you had just launched it. I mean, like within minutes, and I was like, boom, 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 done. And I just signed up for it. And I remember pulling up and seeing you with your paint, your signature paint clothes on, and you were just so welcoming. And my life has not been the same since.
Oh, and now we've done a couple of painting workshops together.
Yeah.
Um, you're not looking left and right to, see what other, you're in your space, you're doing your
Hmm.
thing, and you're trusting that. And that's really hard for a lot of us as artists, to just trust that what we are doing is right for us. So
Yeah.
that, okay, so you said that, that there's one thing to claim, to appreciate artistry. There's another next level to say, I'm a professional, I'm going to do this as a profession. So
Yeah.
walk us through that. Like, when did you claim that? And yeah, tell us about that.
Yeah. I started this journey of aligning who I am with what I do back in 2016, right? I realized this is not who I am. And so it was like a fresh canvas, really. And there was an unfolding, and there's so much richness that has happened within all of that. But becoming an artist really has helped me integrate with who I am as a human being. And because my
Wait,
first
wait,
and
wait.
foremost,
That is just a mic drop.
yeah, it's significant.
Becoming who I am. So can you just say that again?
Sure, aligning who I am with what I do.
And you said, let me see if I can find this. When we choose to live with a piece of art, we form a relationship with the artwork, and by expression, with the artists themselves. And I love this because,
Mm,
as you know, you've been through my painting workshops, you've been through my business programs, you've been through Studio Elite, and I talk about all the time, there are millions of artists out there. Um, But the collector, when they're choosing their art, they are going to want to connect with the artist as well. Maybe not 100% of the time, but so much of the time they will look at a piece of art, whether it's online or it's in an art gallery or it's in somebody's home or wherever it might be. They will connect with that, and one of the questions that usually comes out of the mouth is, who did this?
Mhm.
Who's the artist? Right? Who
Mhm.
painted this? And they want to know about the artists. And so the artist's journey, your journey, is it's fascinating. It's been so wonderful to watch you soar and to do the things that you're doing. And you, I see, for those, we're going to put your Instagram handle in for sure in the show notes because people are going to want to follow you. I love seeing your work. I love the work that you post. I love
Thank
how you
you.
incorporate all of the things that you do. I, of course, love it when I see another painting sold, another painting sold, another painting sold. So that absolutely delights me. Um, what does a day look like for you?
Yep. So I have set hours. I go into my studio like 9 to 5, like I'm going to any job. And so I have certain days that I coach on and certain days that I paint. And no matter what, I'm in there. And I'm usually an early riser. I wake up somewhere between 4:30 and 6:30 every day. I spend about 2 hours in meditation, journaling, reflection every morning. It works out because I wake up so early. The world's not really going yet. And then I head to my studio. And, you taught me that maybe I don't feel creative that day, or maybe it's just not working. Get into your studio regardless, organize your
Mhm.
studio, work on something different, do admin, like order paint, something, just every day show up and work on my craft. So,
Okay, so what has been the biggest challenge for you as an artist?
well, we kind of touched on this earlier. I mean, it's putting myself out there. That was absolutely terrifying in the beginning, and it's not so much today, but I am an introvert. When I'm around people that I'm comfortable with, I'm very gregarious. I'm very outgoing, but I'm sensitive like most artists. And on those days that I just feel like cocooning and being within myself and not seeing any humans,
Yeah,
it's hard to do, and maybe that lasts a couple weeks,
yeah.
for me. Maybe I would need to cocoon for a couple weeks, but, if I do not nurture that relationship with social media, it shows in
Mhm.
my sales, and so that has been the proof is in the pudding.
Yeah.
So
I
I
talk
have
about
to
this all the
continue.
time.
And you're right on it, Jody. You're right on it. It's been my experience. So I have to put myself out there. And so I would say that's probably the biggest challenge in just staying committed to that,
Right.
right? It's gotten so much easier and it's actually become a lot more fun and creative. It's not that big of a deal as it used to be, but um, you know, I'm also a private person in a lot of ways, which uh, you know, deciding what to share and what not to share. I mean, we have that right, and everything isn't meant to be shared with the world. Some things are meant to be held sacred, and that's okay. That doesn't mean we're not being authentic if we're
Yeah.
not sharing every detail about our life. And sometimes that can be hard to know, what am I comfortable with sharing and what am I not.
I'm so glad you
So
brought this up because that's something that I hear from a lot of artists. It's like, well, no, I'm an introvert. I'm an introvert. We're both
right.
like, and
Yeah.
also you brought up community with Studio Elite. Um,
Mhm.
Weirdly, community is like one of the best parts of it, but so many artists are introverts, and so they will hesitate to join because they we are in community. They're like, no,
Right.
no, no, I'm an
Mm.
introvert. I want to do this by myself. I'm scared. I don't want to show my art to people. I don't like it's like that element of I don't want, how much do I have to share of myself? How much of this has to happen for me to be successful? And I love that you're saying you do what you are comfortable with and it can
Right.
still be authentic.
And evolve. Start where you're at is kind of my philosophy, right? Like today where I'm at and what I'm comfortable sharing may look very, very different a year from now. And I mean, I don't know what direction that's going to go in. It doesn't really matter, just as long as I'm honoring my truth and I'm staying authentic to what feels right for me, then I'm golden. I'm good.
Yeah.
And just maintaining a thick skin, right?
Yeah.
Because when we do, I think that's a big part of why people are scared to put their stuff out there because, the internet can be unforgiving and it can be very opinionated. And, you know,
Can I just be real honest though?
yeah,
I very rarely get any shade.
it's been very rarely for me as well, but I think it's a stigma. People are
Mhm.
scared of the trolls and everybody gets that,
Oh
but
yeah, I definitely get it. I think it
this
goes back
is
to what you said, thick skin, right?
yeah, well, I mean, and this is my thing. We've already put our art out there, and art is going to be judged. It is
Yeah.
designed to be judged. We all do it. We look at it, even critiquing it. I mean, we judge the art, and so we're already taking this big step by putting our art out there. Just extend your art one step further, right? And that's kind of how I'm greeting social media and building my business as it's just an extension of my art, just like my life, just the way I dress myself, the way I move, the way
Yeah.
I worship, the way that I express,
Yeah.
it's all the same.
Yeah,
Yeah,
for sure.
just as long as it's true.
So I'm gonna ask you a question that's been left by a
Oh
previous
yeah.
artist in just a second. But before I do that, just out of curiosity, what do you see? What are your big dreams for Meribeth Privett and your art business?
Oh man, some things I'm going to hold sacred
I
because I'm working
know.
on some stuff
Okay.
and I've learned that needs time to gestate and that it feels better in my body when I talk about it once it's done versus when it's or like the hope
Too
of it
soon.
happening.
Yeah.
Yeah, too soon. But I mean, I'm here for it all. I've taken your suggestions on we need other residual modes of income. So I've got some creative projects going on with that, and I'm really excited about it. Some collaborations that
Yes.
are going to be happening. So keep an eye out for that kind of fun stuff. Um, but I mean, I'm an open channel
Yeah.
here. Whatever the universe, any life changing, positive opportunities the world wants to send me, I'm gonna. If it feels right for me, I'm leaning into them. So
I love it. And
the sky's the limit.
I know you sell your work. I'm sorry to interrupt you.
No.
I know you sell your work through your studio space, right?
Yes,
How else can people see your work? Well, you also work with interior designers, I believe.
I
Still,
do.
yep.
Yes, yes,
And you sell your art online. So
I do.
I'm bringing this up because, like you said, I often talk about how various revenue streams, how various ways for you to sell your art, and I think you do
Yes,
this so beautifully. So that's why
thank you.
I'm asking about it.
Yeah, majority of my sales are direct,
Hmm.
where the collector reaches out to me, and it's a direct sale. But I also have, e-commerce on my website, so you can check it out there. But I sell majority of my paintings through Instagram. I mean,
Isn't that
it's
crazy?
I sold my first painting on Instagram, and I just put it out there, and I share, and things happen, and I'm here to do my 50%, right, of
I
it,
love it.
and so, yeah, you can find my work there.
Amazing. All right, you sweet thing. I sorry, that's such a southern thing. You
That's
powerful thing,
okay.
you.
That's okay.
All right. So the tradition here on the Honest Art podcast is we have a previous guest ask
Mm.
a question for the next guest. They don't know who the guest is going to be. But here's the question that the previous guest asked. How do you break through creative blocks?
Yeah, a bold action. That is how I typically maneuver around and through creative blocks. It's either going to be bold movement. I mean, I dance for my painting. There's some weird stuff that goes on. I'm drumming, I'm rattling. I mean, there's different elements that help me connect
Yeah.
and rearrange my energy to where it feels more in flow. And that could also look like making a bold mark. There is something that I recently had a piece that was a intuitive commission, and I loved the painting. But it wasn't done. It was still in process, and I had to honor that. And I was too attached to so many things, and the
Oh my
only
God. The
thing that was
attachment. Can we just take a
uh,
minute for when we become so attached to that place and it's,
suffering.
oh,
It creates creative suffering,
it
Jody.
does. It
The
absolutely,
attachment to it.
ah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. And so, a big movement, I mean, a sacrificial mark typically is going to have to go into that. Yeah, some type of sacrificial mark to move me out of it. And then, also, I go to this, and we know, I mean, the name of your podcast is Honest Art Podcast. But my mantra, when maybe I'm a little nervous about making that bold mark, because I'm like, this is going to be good or bad. Like, I
Yeah.
don't know. Like, it's going to move left or right here. It's like, as long as it's honest, that's all that matters. As long
100%.
as it's honest, that's all that matters. So I just repeat that. And, you know, I can't really, argue with that with
I,
myself.
I think that is great. And that is going to be so helpful for so many of us.
Yeah.
Um, Thank you, Miss Privett.
Thank
This has been
you.
an awesome conversation.
Yeah.
Tell our listeners where they can find you.
Yes. So you can find me on Instagram. I'm more Instagram heavy. So at Meribeth Privett. You can also find me on Facebook. Um, MeribethPrivett.com is my website. And if you want to check out my coaching and energy medicine platform, that is soulalchemyenergy.com. Yeah.
Soulalchemyenergy.com. And we will put all
Hmm.
of this in the show notes because
Great.
we want people to be able to find you so easily. It's been such an honor and a pleasure to work
Jody,
with
this has
you.
been so great.
Well, I mean, I appreciate the conversation today, but I just want to tell you and the entire whole ass world that it's just been such a pleasure to know you and work with you. And it's just an honor for me. And so thanks for joining
Likewise.
me today.
Likewise. Thank you, Jody.
You're welcome. Take care. Thanks for listening. And just a heads up, applications are now open for the next cohort of my high-touch mastermind experience for artists called Studio Elite. It's a 6-month program that begins in the middle of July. It's limited in size as I work closely with each artist because let's face it, every artist is unique. The program includes weekly group coaching, monthly training, one-on-one coaching, art critiques, and an incredible community of supportive artists. Plus, and this is the best part, an exclusive in-person retreat with me and my team to mastermind and grow your art biz. If you'd like to apply for the program or just to learn more, click the link in the show notes, and I'd love to see you there.